Hello everyone, welcome to Geology Concepts. We are back with a new video of current affairs in which we have covered the current affairs from the 17th of July to 24th of July, and this time we have decided to divide the whole current affairs video into three parts, which will be based on the topics. This topic is going to be based on geography and environment. See, your exam covers a lot of questions from geography and environment, and that's why I have been focusing on this topic quite a lot. So let's start with this topic. And so the first is forest fires in Europe, or plus heat waves in Europe. I can add heat waves in Europe, right? So this is also there. Eco-sensitive zones, what are these and what are why all these things are in news? Legal metrology and EIA environmental impact assessment. Tarang Hill Ambaji Abu Road. So Ambaji Abu Road, this is actually railroad, right? So this is how it is. We'll move ahead and see. Let's see all of them one by one. So let's start. The first thing is forest fires in Europe. Why this thing is in news? Because Europe is seeing forest fires in the recent time quite a lot. So the reason behind is this, that the reason behind, as the scientists and experts have suggested, that the rising temperature of the environment is the reason behind forest fires, and the forest fires also contribute to the rising temperature, and this becomes a vicious cycle, right? So now the news is temperatures across Europe are soaring yet again, from Spain to British Isle, right, and spreading east. So Spain is at it is here Africa, right, and it is Strait of Gibraltar, sorry for my Strait of Gibraltar, and this is Spain, and this connects to the Europe like this, right, and this is here Mediterranean Sea. So this is how it is. So from here, and this is here somewhere, we have British Isles like Ireland and all. So the heat waves have started moving like this and further moving east, right? So this is how they have the heat wave is moving, and the reason behind this is the wildfires, and wildfires also contribute heat waves, and heat waves contributes to wildfires. So this is very, one contributes to the other like thing. So wildfires stoked by the heat, wildfires stoked by the heat are burning in many countries, and much of the continent is in the throes of a lengthy drought. So the heat wave occurs because of the drought, because there is no rainfall or less rainfall. So this is how things are. The London's Heathrow Airport is, the runway of that airport has melted because the rising temperature, and the temperature has been measured as 40 degrees centigrade. See, you just imagine the temperature, because the average temperature this time in Europe is like 27 degree or something around this, 27 degrees centigrade, and at current time the London, the current temperature is around 40 degrees centigrade. See the change, right? So this is the reason why the Europe is facing heat waves, and heat waves contribute to wildfires, right? So reason behind wildfires is natural and man-made. So natural is like lightning strike or like any other thing. Man-made could be like somebody burns a forest, so something starts with a small burning something, and then it snowballs into a wild forest fire. You must have been aware of the fact that Australia, the forest fire happened in Australia in 2020. That was a huge forest fire. Lakhs of animals died in the forest fire, and later it came to our knowledge that Australian forest fire was caused by some very ignorant person. He just started the fire, right? It was a man-made, but it wasn't very much established news, so I won't say that this was the exact reason. But the reason is why I'm emphasizing is that there could be man-made reasons too, right? So this is how it is. In India, we have seen in Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, these states face a lot of forest fires every year. I mean, these states are forest fire prone states, right? So the only initiative by India is the Forest Fire Prevention and Management Scheme. So this is the only scheme by Indian government which is for fighting the forest fires, right? So this scheme is very important. You need to keep in mind. You just take a note of this scheme and you need to be aware of this scheme. If there is a question that which scheme is there to fight against the forest fires, so this scheme should be there in your mind, right? The recent forest fires I've just mentioned here, like Australia 2020, Simlipal forest fires in India 2021, Simlipal is in Odisha, right? So last year we have seen, we saw the forest fire in Simlipal, like Simlipal was burning, and this is how forest fires happen, right? So this is, see, the news could be like very big and very I mean, it could cover a lot of things, but for exam point of view, these things are important. So I have mentioned only those things, and rest all you can follow the news if you want to. Moving to the next thing is the DGATRA. So this is very important. This is actually, see, we have seen that 5G is coming to our country this year. By the end of this year, we will see that in Delhi we will have 5G in our phones, 5G network. We can see, we just anticipate this thing. But DGATRA is, yes, DGATRA is going to capitalize this thing, that if you are checking in an airport, and there you have to show your ticket and boarding pass and all these things. Once you have DGATRA ID, then you do not have to go through all these things. You just keep walking, and at every step you will be thoroughly checked in automatically, right? So this is what DGATRA is. This is based on the facial recognition technology, which is called FRT. So the project is to achieve, the aim of this project is to contactless seamless processing of passengers at airports. This is basically for airports, right? But later on it can be used at many places, like at railway stations and bus stations. I mean, as the technology improves, we can use it at many places. DGATRA is a company which has been established under Companies Act 2013, and this company is actually the inventory holder of all the data, and it is a pan-India company, pan-India entity, which is custodian of all the passenger IDs validation process, right? So this DGATRA Foundation is important for you, and the aim and objective of DGATRA should be known to you. The next thing is which ministry is under which ministry this scheme is, this initiative is. So it is the Ministry of Civil Aviation. In the first phase, DGATRA is proposed to be rolled out at 2 airports, which is Varanasi and Bengaluru. So these two things are very important. So you need to remember these two places, like Varanasi and Bengaluru. At these two places, this DGATRA will be launched in August 2020, which is in the next month. So this is a good thing for us if we are traveling by air. So the next topic is environment impact assessment. So this is important. Let me tell you something in the background story is that, as we have through modernization and this capitalism is based on the market, and market is driven by demand and supply strategy. Demand and supply calculus works for the market, right? So for every capitalist economy, we need raw material, and raw material comes from the exploitation of nature, right? So for this thing to have a balance between the development and environmental sustenance, like sustained economic growth, for this thing we need to take care of the environment too, because we are going to live in this environment only, and our coming generation will be living in this environment. They will inherit our everything, like what we do and what we create, negative or positive, they will be inheritor of all these things. So we would not like to pass on a polluted air and polluted land and polluted water to our next generation. For that thing, we have decided to have a balance between a development and an environmental degradation, right? So finally we have come to the conclusion that we will introduce in environment impact assessment. Like if we have to implement some scheme or some project like dam or some factory or nuclear establishment, for this thing we must take into consideration the impact that will happen on the environment. So for this thing we have environment impact assessment, right? So before I go to the new notification, let me tell you what is environment impact assessment, which is as per UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. EIA is a tool used to identify the environmental, social and economic impacts of a project prior to decision making. Like once the project has been brought on ground for the execution, before that there is an assessment that how much environment will be impacted. So for this thing there is a tool, right? So aim is to predict environmental impact at an early stage in project planning and design, find ways and means to reduce adverse impacts. So this is how things are done. So next, going to what is so first, this happened in 2006. The first environmental impact assessment notification came in 2006, and this is what let me tell you. So the first thing is decentralization of project clearances. Like some projects will be cleared at the national level and some will be cleared at the state level. So category A, national level appraisal, and category B was for the state level appraisal, right? So this is because at all the stages, at all the projects cannot be monitored by the union government. So some projects were like given to the state governments to take care of. So this is how environmental impact assessment notification came into being. So the new notification, this is not of much importance to us. So the thing is that we have first time the notification came in 2006, and we had two categories like category A and category B. The category A caters to is catered by the national government, and category B is catered by the state government. So this is how, and UNEP at the world level, at the global level, is the inventory of this. I mean, they made the tool to have the environmental impact assessment. So UNEP is the important thing. Then category A, two categories are there. The first thing, this thing came first in 2006. So these things are important for us, right? So moving next to the topic, which is Tarang Hill Ambaji Abu Road. So this is very important because there is a line, the railway line has been announced by the union government, which is of a length of 116.65 kilometers, which runs from Abu Road from Rajasthan to Tarang Hill, Gujarat, right? And these are three pilgrimage places. So this is how they are being connected through a railway line, which will benefit a lot of pilgrims who go from one place to another to have a pilgrimage. So this is how it is. The significance of the project is it would enhance connectivity and improve mobility. So this is how every connectivity, every railway or road project is supposed to give us, and leading to overall socio-economic development in the region. This is very known thing. Any common sense thing any common sensical person will be able to answer these questions. So as it connects the important pilgrimage sites, this is important, and let me again tell you what all those pilgrimage sites are. The first is Ambaji, then second is Tarang Hill, and the third is Abu Road, right? So these things are there. So the Ambaji is a famous pilgrimage site which is located in Gujarat, which is the 51st Shakti Peeth. This is important, that Ambaji is located in Gujarat and 51st Shakti Peeth. It attracts millions of devotees from Gujarat and all. Then further is the Tarang Hill, which is Ajit Nath Jain temple. This is Ajit Nath was the Tirthankar, one of the Tirthankars, and in his name, in his respect for his devotees, this temple has been made. So to have the connection, the central government has announced a rail project which will connect all these 3 points. So the important thing is the length 116.65. then the significance is not for the objective exams. The thing is that Ambaji is located in Gujarat, which is about the 51 and included in the 51 Shakti Peeths, is the one of the Shakti Peeths we can say. Then Ajitnath temple, which is in the Taran Hill in Gujarat, right? So this is how we need to understand this. So moving next to the next topic, which is okay. So this is the end of this video, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.